Rumor has it you like sports cards. Well, if that rumor is true, you're in the right place today. Today, I'm gonna be showing you how to take your sports card looking like this to looking like this. So before we get into any of the supplies that I would suggest while sending sports cards, I'm just gonna get into the 3 top companies that I would suggest sending to. These are just based on what you will get resale wise. So coming in at number 1, it has the most resale value. It's been around the longest, has the best reputation, and that is PSA. So make sure when you're sending a PSA, you know that the card, either way, if you send it, you will not be losing money on it. So I would not suggest sending something like this, a base card to PSA. Make sure that it's gonna have some sort of resale value on it after you get it back. So number 2 would be Beckett. And Beckett has been around for a long time. They've been grading cards for a very long time. Over the last couple of years, they've fallen off a little bit with the number of cards they've been grading per year, per month. But I do like that they give you subgrades on your cards. They give you an autograph grade on your cards, and also give you the option if you don't want that stuff, you could pay a lower fee for it. They also give the second best resale value for all the companies out there. And number 3, a company that has been around for a little bit, SGC. SGC has been around for a long time. They've been grading cards for a while. They mainly have been grading vintage for a while, and they've started to grade a lot more modern as the pandemic boom has happened. I like sending their cards there. They're at a very cheap price point. Out of the 3, they are the cheapest, no doubt. They have great bulk options, so it is a company that I am looking at very closely. Those are the top 3 companies when it comes to grading sports cards at the moment. Before, I want to say in 2020, you could put the grading level as PSA 1, BGS 2, SGC 3. But now some will make the argument SGC is better than BGS because SGC is now grading more cards per month, per year than BGS is. BGS is not getting their turnaround times lowered at all. PSA, thankfully, is working on that. So me personally, I think BGS is dying a little bit. I may be wrong. I think SGC is going to take BGS's place at number 2 in the next coming years, but we shall see. So the number 1 thing that you will need when sending cards for grading are card savers. Card savers are suggested by all 3 top companies, PSA, BGS, and SGC, to be used when you're sending your cards for grading. So it's easier for them to get the cards out, not having to bang on the side to get your card out of a top loader. The card won't be damaged that way. It's very easy to get a card in and out of these. So that is my number 1 suggestion supplies wise. My number 2 suggestion would be investing in a microscope. Now you may say, Stack and Sell, I got the best eye in the world. I could tell no matter what, if there's surface issues or if there's scuffs or if my corners aren't good on the card. And if that's how you feel, go right ahead. But me personally, I do not have the best eyes in the world. There are times that I will look at a card and think that's a PSA 10. Look at it under my microscope here. It thankfully gives me a light as well. I'll look at it under the microscope and be like, damn, there's a big surface issue on there. Or damn, the centering is not as good as I thought. So this microscope has helped me out tons. Looking at a card and seeing, oh wow, that is actually not gradable, or looking at under the microscope and thinking, oh, I can get that surface issue out. Like that's very, very minimal. So microscope is definitely something that I would suggest. My 3rd tip would be finding some sort of cloth or anything to wipe your cards down if there's any sort of dirt or dust on them. Now you may have just received a card in the mail or bought a card at a show and you look it over and there's some sort of surface issue on there. If that's dirt, dust, glue, anything. There's always different things that I'm finding on a surface, and that's where these cloths come into hand. I get these at my eye doctor. You could get them at Walmart, Best Buy, anywhere. It's just a normal cloth. I like to wipe my cards down even if I don't see anything on there beforehand, because they could pick up fingerprints, any sort of dirt, gunk. Don't want that on there because they will use that when grading against you. So make sure you wipe your cards down because that is a very key thing. You may get a card back and you're like, why'd I get an 8.5? Well, there's glue on your card that you didn't wipe down. So the 4th thing that I would suggest is adding new penny sleeves. Now you may be asking, why would I want to add a new penny sleeve? I just put it on there for new protection. These cost you a penny to 10 pennies, just depending on how much you're paying. I would rather spend the extra 10 pennies if the grader decides to not take the card completely out and just use it with the penny sleeve on there. See some sort of surface issue or anything on there that it was the penny sleeve actually. I would rather like a clean one. So I would suggest just putting a clean penny sleeve on. You never know. It may just be me overreacting on what the grader may do, but it is just something that I like to use. My fifth and final suggestion would be giving as much protection as possible to your cards that are going out to be graded. So when I ship my cards out for grading, I use 2 yellow mailers. So I use one smaller yellow mailer. I wanna say these are 3x5. These perfectly fit a one of these in here, just a little bit smaller, as you guys can see right here. I will put this in here, bend it over, and take this little glue thing off and bend it like that, and it'll go straight in here. These are a little bigger, and this is what I will actually mail them out in. This will go in here, right down in here, and there. It's just an extra thing of protection. Just don't want the cards getting damaged if possible. Just want to have as much protection as possible. Always use protection, kids. All jokes aside, those are the 5 pieces of supplies that I would suggest you have before you send cards out for grading. I can make a whole different video on what I look for before I send a card out for grading. That's centering, back, what I look on the back, what I look edges wise, corners wise. That's a whole different system. That's a whole different video that I can make. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want to see something like that. If you can, please leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.